Yes, hello everybody, and welcome once again to the Brink, episode 16 of the podcast reboot for another Brinkaliciously awesome Brinktacular episode of your favoritist podcast that you don't know you listen to, or at least maybe admit to your loved ones. Hey, guess what? I listen to the Brink. Because perhaps that's why there are so many single people out there, not too sure. But we're excited to be back for yet another episode. Big episode, lots to bring you today. And we have plenty of things to talk about, and plenty of things not to talk about. One thing that I just wanted to mention before we get into all the fun stuff is that we've been talking a lot about our American listeners. Mountain View in California is a town that for some reason has discovered that the Brink exists and likes to listen to us fairly regularly, and yet for some reason the last week when I put the shout out to those listening to us in Mountain View, they haven't listened in the last week. So perhaps they got scared. Somebody caught wind. One of their Australian friends messaged them and were like, don't listen, they want to know who you are. So there you go. If you happen to listen to this week, I'm going to put this out on every single episode. Mountain View, California, we know you listen to the Brink. We want to know more about you, whether you might be the mayor, you might be just the town person who works at the local shop. Just let us know. We'll get you on, we'll talk to you about Mountain View, and we'll learn a lot, because I personally want to know, I know our listeners want to know, and the world needs to know, I feel, a little bit more about Mountain View. So please, if you're listening, Mountain View, reach out to us. We'll organise for you to come on the show to talk about Mountain View. Another week, another appearance by Mr. Paul Luttrell. Paul, welcome back to the Brink.
Good to be here.
I didn't even need to give you much of an introduction. I just went straight into it. I thought, well, why not? Not much needs to be said. He's Paul, and he's talking. Trump. We always talk about Trump. Let's start off with Trump. Why not? What's been going on this week? I think he's been a bit calmer this week again. I haven't really seen too much, except him fighting with Snoop Dogg.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't seen that.
Oh.
That's interesting, but I've seen that he's been, I think this might have been last week, but it's kind of carried over into this week. He accused Obama of wiretapping his house or something. Putting wiretaps in his microwave, apparently.
Yeah, and now apparently everyone in America's scared that they're being spied on in their microwave. I think all the late-night hosts have been having a field day with this.
Yeah. This is the old burrito device in the burrito. Yeah, that's definitely worked. What else? His travel ban got blocked once again, so yeah, that's not... I should probably just give up on that.
You think he would, but I'm sure he probably won't. He'll probably just get to the point where it's like, we're going to ban people from, and we'll just like list the country that no one's ever heard of, and everyone will be like, okay, fine, that's fair enough.
Yeah, I think so. Or at least then he wouldn't be, it wouldn't be too controversial. This is kind of... It's a pretty big Muslim population in the world. If he's trying to block them from coming into America, it's a pretty big... It affects a lot of people.
It's interesting to kind of see him keep doing it, because I guess a lot of people's perspective of the position of president in the United States is that they kind of are the be-all, end-all of power, and this person, whereas I guess, analysing how it keeps happening... I mean, there's similarities, I guess, of how it kind of works in Australia. It's not like Malcolm Turnbull right now can be like, everyone in Australia, you are banned from eating McDonald's. Like, it's got to pass through a couple of parliaments here and there. So it's interesting to kind of put the powers of the presidency into perspective.
Yeah, definitely. I think he has those executive orders and stuff that he keeps using. But also, I think just... on a basic level, I think if the president of your country says, yeah, this is okay to act in this way, then it kind of legitimizes that behavior. And other people say, usually people can say, well, that's unacceptable. But then people can say, well, the president does it. And I guess, so, yeah,
It's interesting. And the Snoop Dogg thing, basically, Snoop Dogg was in a film clip during the week that was released, and in it, there is a character which is quite clearly meant to be Donald Trump. And Snoop Dogg at one point raises a gun to this character, fires it, but like a comedic bang little sign comes out of the gun. But, is implying that he's going to assassinate Donald Trump. So Trump's tweeted something in the lines of, disgusting by Snoop Dogg. Can you imagine the outcry if this was against Obama? And look, I mean, I don't want to agree with Donald Trump, but I think he's kind of got a bit of a point there. I mean, whether you like the guy or not, is it appropriate to kind of have a video where you're implying you want to assassinate your country's leader?
I think it's a pretty contentious kind of issue. I think you don't want to censor people, and you want to have freedom of expression and whatever, but then at the same time, I don't think if he's truly advocating violence against someone who was democratically elected, then yeah, definitely that's not acceptable. And I think putting it out there as like Trump's the cause of all of our problems and whatever is not a good way to look at it. Trump is just kind of like the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
Your problems at your kind of foundational level of people basically lacking a number of things, lacking education, lacking, I don't know, exposure to different cultures and things like that, and also employment is another big thing. So I think just saying, oh yeah, if we killed Trump, then all of our problems would go away, it's just a very naive view. But also, yeah, I think that people on the left, I would consider myself as being on the left, kind of need to practice what they preach, and not advocate, murder, essentially.
Yeah. I mean, I think Marilyn Manson had a video out just after or before Trump was elected that basically depicted Donald Trump getting decapitated. And I mean, look, I'm with you there, artistic freedom, all these kind of things, but I don't know, I just feel that there definitely would be a certain level of outcry against Obama if that was to be the case. And even if Hillary had been elected, I'm sure there would have been certain outcry with that. But again, it's just that fine line, isn't it? Because, I mean, yes, people should be able to express their opinions on Trump and any person in power. I mean, they don't live in, what's the word I'm trying to think for here, Paul? Russia, communist. Thank you very much, Ben. I'm very much glad that I'm capable of thinking of words today. But, yeah, it's an interesting thing to kind of think about.
Yeah, I think it all comes out of context. I mean, you say if someone did the same thing for Obama. Yeah, if it was a member of the Ku Klux Klan doing it for Obama, then you know, oh yeah, that's definitely got racist undertones, overt racism. But if it was someone from, say, I don't know, which country has America bombed recently? Some country.
Take your pick.
Yeah. Let's say
Syria. Iraq, yeah, sure.
Or something like that, any kind of Middle Eastern country, if they were doing it, chopping off the head of Obama, then you would think, oh, okay, it's obviously not a race thing, it's obviously retaliation or some kind of thing, retaliation against bombing or something. So I don't think you would have the outcry. Maybe you would. Maybe people are just patriotic enough to say, you don't cut the head off our president or whatever, and they'd be pissed off.
Well, it's fascinating, I think, too, because, I mean, Americans are a very proud country. They're very passionate. They love their country. And, I mean, we've talked a bit about Bush sort of on this show before, and you kind of found in that period of George W. Bush that, yes, he was very unpopular for, probably the latter half of his presidency, but there still seemed to be so many people that at least were like, look, yes, he's a bit of a buffoon, yes, he's not that good, but he's still the president, respect him. Where I don't find that people are doing that with Trump. It's kind of like, fuck Trump, I don't give a fuck if he's the president, fuck him and everything he stands for.
Yeah, I think it was different time, I guess. You got post 9/11 and everything, everyone was getting really patriotic and uniting against a common enemy, I guess, so Bush could kind of hide behind that, which then goes on to say, well, I guess that's the purpose of war a lot of the time is to, unite people against someone else.
It's interesting. I mean, does that what Trump needs to start a war? I mean, he kind of is, isn't he? I mean, it's not like he doesn't try to start one every week. Yeah,
exactly. I think that's, I don't know, hopefully he gets impeached before then, but it does seem like it could happen. But I'm not sure who with. You take your pick. You've got lots and lots of. He's making a lot of enemies.
Well, I think, but then we've also got to look at the fact that even if he gets impeached, Mike Pence would be in power, and I don't really think he's much of a better option, is he?
I wouldn't. I'd say it's probably worse. I'd say that because he's much more obvious, much more subtle, and whatever with the way that he could do it. I think he can schmooze people a little bit more as well, because he comes across as such a nice family man, but he has these really, really awful beliefs, I guess.
Well, is it what? Speaker of the House is 39. Is that Paul Ryan? Is that his name? Or something?
Yeah.
I mean, what's his general, I guess, reception? Because I mean, he seems like a decent guy. He seems charismatic. He seems, to know what he's talking about. But I mean, again, this is coming from a guy from the suburbs of Hobart's perspective, who really doesn't know too much about the guy.
Yeah, I think he's probably one of the more dangerous ones when you think about it, because he does come across as quite a nice guy, and he's got a level head and everything, but he's coming with this really conservative ideology, which, I don't know, it's not good for a lot of people. I think that, generally speaking, Republicans are very much self-serving, and this is I'm being general here, but Republicans tend to favour, obviously, the wealthier citizens, I guess.
Yeah.
Not really a lot on social justice and everything with the Republicans either.
No. Well, we've only got 3 years and 10 months to go, so sounds so long, but it will be over. Speaking of things and years and everything, you and I have something in common: the fact that this week we both had birthdays. Now, I think you're a year younger than me, are you not? So you only turned 29. Am I correct in saying that?
Turned 27.
Oh, 20. Oh, Jesus Christ! Why did I think you're only a year younger than me? You're a spring chicken.
Yeah.
I can't even relate to that now. 27. Screw you. How was your birthday? Do you still get an ice cream cake from McDonald's and like a little lolly bag at your party with all your friends from your preschool?
Blowing out my candles? No, I didn't at all. I actually forgot which day my birthday was on. I went to uni to a class on Tuesday, and someone brought it up to me. They were like, "Oh, it's your birthday tomorrow, isn't it?" And I thought, "Oh, is it?" Oh, 'cause I knew it was that week, but then I hadn't really plotted it. I didn't know exactly what the date was that day, and then so it's that's where it's come to. I don't even really think about it anymore. It's kind of just yeah.
Well, wait a few more years until you're about to turn 30 and you're mourning the death of your youth. I am just... it's terrible.
I feel like I worry about it less now, though. When I was like when you go from like turning 20 or 21 to 22 and stuff, you're like, oh, yeah, I'm getting there and stuff. But now it's kind of like, oh, I don't care that much anymore.
It's such a weird feeling, because I mean, I'm with you in terms of forgetting when you are a certain age, your birthday is the greatest day in the world because it's a day all about you. So I mean, it's like, yes, this is the greatest thing ever. But yeah, as you get older, it literally, like, you just don't really give a shit. And I mean, I guess my experience on my birthday, at least in the last 4 or 5 years, is I'm generally not even in the state. So I mean, I've had it away from my family. I've had it away, from people that supposedly celebrate it. And so this year it's different. And again, it's kind of like, it's a Saturday. It's a big one. It's a big 30, you're meant to be doing a big thing about it. And people are like, oh, you got to do this. And it's kind of like, well, A, don't really want to celebrate it. B, don't really have anyone here to celebrate it with. And C, can we just wake up on Sunday morning and pretend it never happened? So it's like, I don't care. And then people ask you, like, my dad, what do you want for your birthday? And I'm like, Dad, everything I want can't happen. So let's just make it through the day. And, it's like, not gonna change things. You can build me a time machine? That'd be great. If you can do that, sure, give it to me. Absolutely, I'll take it. But it's a weird thing, isn't it? Like, I mean, Christmas, I think Christmas to me, the child is always going to be there. I'm always going to love Christmas. But my birthday, I don't know. It's like, yeah, really?
Yeah. I find Christmas, though, to be even more kind
You're
of...
You're not a Christmas fan, are you? I think I remember talking about this.
It's really inconvenient. Yeah. Everything's shut. Whenever you try and go anywhere in town or whatever during Christmas, it's always so busy.
I'm that way around Easter. To me, Easter's pointless. I mean, I'm not religious. No offense to everyone who's listening. You're religious. Like, great. I get the meaning behind it. No offense. But it's like, Easter's turning into mini Christmas now. It's not about the chocolate. It's about the presents now. And
the two blend together as well. It's kind of like Christmas decorations stay up until mid-February, and then bloody chocolate rabbits start coming out then as well.
And that always makes me mad when people are complaining that, oh, Easter decorations are out already. It's like, dude, at the end of Christmas, you've pretty much only got 3 months till Easter. Think about it. Christmas decorations come out in about September. That's 3 months to Christmas. So it's pretty much a standard thing, 3-month, window there. So, I mean, if Easter eggs and hot cross buns start coming out in like October, yeah, you've got a legitimate reason to complain. But like if you're seeing them there in January, pretty standard if you ask me.
Yeah, it's so strange though. It's just, what the hell do chocolate rabbits have to do with? I don't know.
Well, the thing too, you talk about birthdays, not remembering it. I had weird, it was about 2 or 3 weeks ago now. I woke up and on my Facebook wall, I had about 3 or 4 people posting on my wall going, "Happy birthday, Ben! Have a great day." And this is like February the 20th. And my birthday's March the 18th. And I'm like, I've literally replied to these people like going, my birthday's not till next month, like WTF. And so like I've posted on Facebook. I haven't probably had a status update in a while at that point. I'm just like, appreciate the happy birthday, guys, but let's wait until it's actually my birthday. Like, is there like some sort of glitch in there? I mean, do you ever get people randomly wishing you happy birthday on Facebook when it's not your birthday?
No, I haven't had it, but it's funny that I don't know, I'm not one for making a big deal of it. And it's so funny, just all the messages and everything. It's great, but it's, I don't know. Sometimes it can be a little bit overwhelming where you're just
and then you get picky. Do you not find you get picky? Because then at the end of the day, you're like, John didn't wish me a happy birthday. I thought he would.
Oh, I don't do that. I kind of just like, this means I have to reply. I'll just like everyone's.
Yeah, I like them. I like them, and then I will generally put a thank you at the end of the day. I don't reply to everyone because I feel that's a bit weird.
Yeah, unless someone specifically asks me a question or something like that. Then, yeah.
I mean, it's different that way, but it's like if somebody texts me happy birthday, you generally like, Nan Will or my auntie or something like that who aren't on Facebook. That's a reply. That's a, hey, thanks. That's great. And this, I mean, I don't know. Isn't it weird how like 10 years ago, you would consider a text message impersonal because, before then it was a phone call. Yeah. And back then, a text message in person. Whereas now, I don't know if this is just me, I almost find a text message more personal than a wall post on Facebook because I'm like, well, you remember you don't need Facebook, or even if you've been reminded by Facebook, it's a little bit more personal to contact me on my number rather than just on generic social media. It's weird how times change like that.
Yeah, even like a messenger or whatever. That's slightly more personal, I guess. I guess because you're not getting the gratification from showing it to other people.
Yeah, it's the herd too, isn't it? You kind of feel like, oh, you're only posting on my wall because, we've got 30 mutual friends and you've seen 24 of them post happy, well, may as well post on Paul's wall. But
whereas gone out of your way now.
Exactly.
But it's not going out of your way at all. It's kind of the exact same amount of effort, but I guess it's more personal somehow just because it's only between the two of you.
Now, do you and Caitlin, what's the deal when it comes to presents for it? I mean, are you present givers? You just go, oh, happy birthday, give you a kiss, that's fine. I mean, does she ask you? What does she do for your birthday?
We usually just try and buy something it's not expensive or anything, but just something that's kind of tailored to what we like. She bought me a pug mug and a book, Breakfast of Champions by Kurt Vonnegut.
A mug with a pug on it. Is that basically what we're saying?
It's shaped. It's square and it's kind of shaped like a pug. It has a pug face on the front and a tail on the back and stuff.
Now, is this because you're a fan of pugs, or is this an in-joke?
I wouldn't mind getting a pug, but they're so expensive.
Really?
But I also getting a pig either. Pugs and pigs are cool.
You don't picture. I don't picture you as a pug fan. I picture you as like a fan of like a bigger dog, like not a pug. I don't know. You just don't. You don't come across that way to me.
I don't know. Pugs are cool.
That's kind of cool. I like learning that about you, Paul. That's interesting. Yeah. Paul's a pug guy. There you go. People listening, let's all chip in. Let's start a crowdfunding campaign. Get Paul a pug.
I think they cost about $3,000 generally, though.
That is ridiculous. You can buy my car was like $400.
Yeah, and they're really expensive to keep as well because they have lots of respiratory issues and stuff, and you have to clean out their skin folds and everything.
You might be cheaper to get a pig.
Yeah, a pig, but then they grow massive. Like even teacup pigs. grow to be enormous.
But they're intelligent, though. They're like one of the most intelligent animals on the planet. So,
not intelligent enough to make themselves smaller. Though.
Right, true. But I mean, I'm guessing more intelligent than a pug.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow, I feel like we're learning so much. Any other stories before we go? Any other people's hair catch fire this week or anything along those lines?
Oh, no, none of that.
I'm still fascinated by that story.
Yeah, it's kind of the horrors of the bus networking in certain areas of Hobart.
Yes. If people don't know what we're talking about, listen to last week's episode. Paul's story about people's hair catching fire on buses in Hobart will haunt your dreams.
Yeah. I think it's a moral tale against using too much hair product.
Yes.
One of those. Not that I'm victim blaming here, but
no, of course not.
Probably wouldn't have gone up as quickly if it didn't have that in there. I can't really think of anything else that's happened. You put me on the spot here.
We plan a lot on the Brink. Again, nothing's changed since we were last on Edge. I mean, we literally just sit here and go, cool, what do you want to talk about? And then that's generally what happens. I'm trying to see. I can't think of anything too, really.
Don't have a little anecdote.
Yeah. So probably this is a point where I say thanks for being here, and we will speak to you next week or whenever we next speak to you here on the Brink, Paul. Thank you.
No problem. It's been good.
Another time where we bring you a classic live performance, and a bit of a short one today, but it's still a very memorable one. Back in 2014, we had an American band on the show called The Exchange. Actually appeared on our show on July 4th, funnily enough. Now, The Exchange were formed after a reality competition in the US, and were in Hobart as part of the Festival of Voices. Came in, gave a great interview, celebrated, all things to do with the US, given that it was July 4, and gave an amazing a cappella performance of the Robin Thicke song Blurred Lines, and I'm going to play that for you right now. We're going back to 2014 to hear The Exchange singing live in studio with Blurred Lines.
Everybody get up! Hey, 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 ooh, hey, ooh, hey, ooh, hey, ow. If you can't hear what I'm trying to say, if you can't breathe from the same pain, maybe I'm going deaf. Maybe I'm going blind, maybe I'm out of my mind. Looking now, he was close, tried to domesticate ya, but you're an animal, baby, it's in your nature. Let me liberate ya, you don't need no paper, that man is not your maker, and that's why I'ma take a good girl. I know you want it, hey, I know you want it, I know you want it, a good girl. Can't let it get past me. You're far from plastic. Talking about getting blasted. These blurred lines.
Luckily, we were without this person in last week's episode, but sadly, he's back this week to annoy the shit out of us again. It's Dakoda Leary. Hello, Dakoda.
It's good to be back if I'm actually back. Like, I might not be even there.
I think you're back now. You're pretty good, so...
Okay, all right.
Things are fine. Where were you last week? Attendance was lacking, Dakoda. This isn't good. You know, did you have an excuse? Do you have like a note from home?
Where was I last week? I don't remember.
That's good.
So I must have been doing something pretty fun then.
Clearly, it stood out to you. It's something so memorable that you love it to bits.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't know. I was doing something. I'm sure I was busy
doing something.
Doing something.
That's the vibe.
Yeah, I don't know what I was doing because I can't remember.
But... So I guess then if I was to ask how's your last 2 weeks been, you're not going to be able to answer it because you have no idea what the hell you've been doing.
I'm sure they've been all right.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Well. Cool.
I mean, I'm a uni student now, aren't I?
You are, yes. You haven't started yet, but since, I guess that's a good point, you've signed up. You have officially become in debt to the government for the rest of your life. So congratulations.
I have, yeah. Oh, man, it's a huge honour to be in debt to the government. I can't... it's just... I feel so proud of myself and all the debt and all that stuff is going to be just... I can't wait, honestly.
Clearly, you sound so excited.
I am, honestly, can't wait.
Yeah, clearly. So what spurred this on? What spurred this on, Dakoda? What was it like? Were you just like one morning, hey, what's up? I'm bored. I'm going to go to uni.
Well, my job was shit.
So are you implying you left your job?
Yes, I did leave my job.
Oh, okay. Well, that's another question. We'll get back to that. Anyway, uni, yes. Okay. Why are you going?
So I was like, oh, what am I going to do instead? I'm like, oh, I might as well go to uni and do something with my life. Mm-hmm. So I've done that.
And what is it that you are specifically doing with your life at university? A degree in how to become older than 15?
Yes. I'm studying Bachelor of the Arts. I'm going to major in journalism, I think, and I don't know
Look out.
what my minor is going to be. Yeah.
Should I be scared? Do I have to be worried now about the status of journalism in Hobart? Because, I was scared when you went on the road, but this is different.
I'll go write for news.com.au.
Well, I mean, look, they do hire 12-year-olds with no experience, so you don't really need to go to uni. So you should be fine. I think you could apply right now.
That's my point. Oh, yeah, all right, I'll do it then. Sure.
They would look at that and go, oh, a university degree, you're too overqualified. How are you meant to report to us on the status of boobs on this woman?
Exactly. Yeah, good point. Actually, I might just apply now then. Yeah. That's all right.
You'll be the CEO by next week.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
You're a senior citizen for news.com.au. God, it feels good to be able to bag them out again. Can I just say that?
Doesn't it? Yeah.
Just felt uncomfortable not being able to say bad things about them when I was employed by News Corp. But news.com.au, you suck. You really shit. So I can say that now. It feels comfortable. So you quit your job. I mean, you loved your shoes and your coffee. Like, why did you quit?
We got a new boss, and she's quite horrible.
Okay.
To us all.
Right.
She's not paying the bills, not paying staff.
That's pretty shit.
All that kind of stuff. So anyone listening, don't go to Little Shoes Espresso because it's crap and horrible, and no one ever wants to go there ever again. So
because Dakoda's left. That's what he's saying. Dakota left. No one wants to go there anymore.
I mean, everyone left.
So who's serving the coffee? Staff. Is this a reason not to go there because no one's serving the coffee?
I've no idea who's serving anything. I don't know what's happening.
You don't want to go to a coffee shop where you literally walk in and it's just like, hi, welcome to Little Shoes. Can I have a coffee? No.
Yeah, well, I don't know what's happening. Maybe they've closed down. I'm not sure. I don't really care, to be honest.
They've got big shoes to fill. That's not funny. It's really not funny.
Shut up.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. You've become a uni student, you've left your job, and now you're becoming a little shit. The transfer.
I've always been a little shit.
That's true.
Haven't I?
15-year-olds are generally little shits. So, cool. Anything else to add? Because we're bringing back something today. I'm excited for this. But before we get to that,
we are bringing back.
You are, yeah, okay. We are. But what else is going on? Anything else to add? You got anything to comment on? Something's pissed you off this week? We'll save that. But what else has been happening?
I mean, I was playing F1 2016 and Nico Rosberg crashed into me.
Cool. So nothing new?
Apart from that, nothing. Yeah.
Nice. All right. Cool. Well, I mean, I think we should. Nothing. I think we're just getting ready for me to play a sound. So
play that sound.
All right, let's play this. Ben and Dakoda get angry. Oh, the glass breaks even louder now, apparently, on podcasting. It does. It's better Dakoda get angry. This was like one of our favourite things we ever did.
I can't wait to get angry at stuff. I don't know what to get angry about, though, but I'm sure I'll find something.
Do you want me to go
You know
first?
What makes me angry?
Oh, hell no, you go first. Yes, tell me. What makes you angry?
Not knowing what to get angry about. It makes me so angry.
You know what makes me angry? Is the fact that since we've started doing this, there's a weird delay on Skype, and it's not the same as when we're in studio, and I don't like that.
You know what makes me angry?
What?
Your voice keeps cutting out, and I don't know what you're angry about.
You know what makes me angry?
What?
What you just said too, because that is kind of annoying.
That's incredible. You know what makes me angry?
What?
Old Spice aftershave.
Why?
Because, when you try and put it on, it all comes out, and, it's it falls on the floor, and, there's too much of it comes out, and, people die.
You know what makes me angry?
What?
Turning 30. I don't want to.
You know what makes me angry?
What?
Being 15. I want to be 18.
You know what makes me angry?
What?
The fact that the oven in my house just went off with a loud bell, and you probably heard that in the background, and that makes his podcast sound unprofessional.
You know what makes me angry?
What?
The fact that I didn't hear that bell in the background.
You know what makes me angry?
What?
The fact that I mentioned a bell went off in the background without actually listening back to this first to see if even a bell went off in the background, so nobody has no idea what the fuck I'm talking about.
You know what makes me angry?
What? It's really angry.
The state of my room. It's a mess.
You know what makes me angry?
I need to clean it or something. What?
When 15-year-olds complain that their room's messy, clean it!
Look, you know what makes me angry?
What?
When 15-year-olds complaining about their room being messy and telling us to clean it because it shits me because you're 30, so shut up.
You know what doesn't make me angry?
What?
Is the fact that I can say fuck and shit and ass and words that we couldn't say on radio. That's kind of convenient in this segment.
Fuck yeah. it's quite good, yeah. It is quite convenient. It's a good thing.
It is.
You know what makes me angry?
What?
Hot weather.
Yes.
Shit.
It is. You know what makes me angry?
What?
Hot weather. It's shit.
Oh, it is.
You know, actually, hang on, I'll add to that. You know what also makes me angry?
Okay.
I'm interrupting.
What?
You can be angry about that. But the fact that it's March, and it's hotter than March, and it's been all fucking summer. It's autumn now. Get over it.
You know what makes me angry?
What?
The fact that you just interrupted me, now I can't remember what I was going to say before that.
You know what makes me angry?
What?
That I can't see a picture of Kevin Bacon. That's what made this segment so good, because at the end we could calm down, because, hey, Kevin was looking over us. And now I have to Google it, and I can't be bothered.
Oh, okay. You know what makes me angry?
What?
I forgot Kevin Bacon existed.
This is the part where I hang up on. Actually, no, fuck you. No, right, that's hanging up, and this segment just died. We used to kick him out of the studio for that. So let's just see. Let's give him a few moments. That really makes me angry. That's just not on. That is just some serious shit. You can hear it ringing. Edit it out. That is bullshit.
You know
no, you listen. You used to get kicked out of the studio for that. Now you watch yourself. Now you really think about what you're going to say next.
No. You cut out. It's gone.
Well, I'm still here, so I can still hear you.
All I can see is a picture of like a screaming woman. I don't know what
That's
it is.
the reaction of the world when people say they've forgotten about Kevin Bacon. That picture, that woman was smiling 2 minutes ago until you said that.
I mean, I don't know because I didn't say her, but...
Oh, are you still angry? You got anything more to say? I think that went pretty well.
I mean, you made me a bit angry hanging up on you.
Well,
Pete,
could we just back up and think what you said?
Yeah, but you weren't very nice about it.
Well, you weren't very nice for getting Kevin Bacon. Don't. I've got the power of the red button in front of me.
No.
I've got the power.
No, you can't. Don't defend yourself with your words. Don't do that. You can't do that.
What would you like me to defend myself with?
The fact
I've got is my words.
You messed up. I'm glad I can't hear your defences because, you're just, cutting out all the time. I'm glad.
You know what's funny is that if people are listening to this and they don't, I guess, know the geography of Hobart, Dakoda and I are literally in neighbouring suburbs. So, I mean, we could probably do this in person, but we're just lazy.
We probably could, actually. Why aren't we doing this in person?
I don't like you, so...
Oh, yeah, fair enough. Then why call me in the first place, then?
Because we don't have anything else to talk about on the Brink. I mean, And plus I want to get angry, because getting angry is fun, and that's what we do. But just, you watch your mouth on Kevin Bacon, mister.
Oh, who cares about Kevin Bacon?
All right, well, that was Dakoda. It was fun to have him, and we'll see if we can get him back on another episode. Always exciting to be able to have our next person on the show. I don't really need to introduce him because, well, he basically helped create this show. It's Josh Shoebridge. Josh, welcome back to another episode.
Thank you, baby boy. How art thou this evening?
Oh, look, just chilling. I'm old now, so usually got to be in bed before 8 o'clock with a glass of prune juice and my slippies on or something like that. But I think I'm bucking the trend right now, so yeah.
Well, you keep that up, man. You got to hold it tight because, man, I turned 30 in a few months too, and I'm peaking, I'll tell you that. I
have no sympathy for you because I am already 30, so no. There's, I don't. Oh, boo-hoo, I'm still 29. Shut up.
Screw you.
It's funny, actually, because during the week I posted that I hosted. Hey, that's a new thing. My 2000th episode of radio, podcast, everything combined, and put together a little, package, as I like to do. I like to put bits together to music. And, obviously get a lot of clips going through the years and finding lots. And stuff that you and I have sort of done over the years, and I still think that, the one that always stands out was, back in the days when you did the No Tim segment, and we talked about creating the Tim Diaries, which sadly never got off the ground. But obviously, sadly, since Tim has left us, maybe we need to attribute sort of just pictures of Tim Franklin doing things and just to turn the page. No, Tim.
I'll tell you what, I will write a kid's book on that called No Tim. Tim decided to stick a fork into an aardvark's butthole. No, Tim, no.
It would work because, ever since we've had that Everybody Poops book, I mean, I don't think... And what was that one that Noni Hazelhurst, used to read out, that Go the Fuck to Sleep, Johnny, or something like that? So, I think you're pretty safe.
It was Jennifer Garner.
Yeah, but they did do an Australian one with Noni Hazelhurst. I remember they did that as well.
I think that there is also one with Arnold Schwarzenegger reading it.
No, really?
No, it's not. It's not. No, it's not Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's Liam Neeson.
Wow.
Liam Neeson reading it.
Was he like, if you don't go to sleep, I'll find you. I'll hunt you down.
Well, he did one not that long ago where he read Three Little Monkeys Jumping on the Bed. And he gets to the third, he's two little monkeys jumping on the bed. This woman is stupid and should be committed. She shouldn't be calling a doctor. She should be calling a veterinarian.
There's actually a video I saw.
In synopsis, they're all dead.
I saw a video yesterday. I think it was actually shared by Aussie Man Reviews, hilarious YouTube channel, Facebook. That guy's a legend. But he shared this one. It's it was a parody of American ads, sort of like health ads. And anybody who's ever seen an ad from America that relates to any sort of medicine or health will know that the first half of the ad, happy people talking about how they can't poop properly and how they started taking Quadracintric X plus Z, it made them poop better. And then the second half of the ad will be about every single side effects. If you have diarrhea, consult your doctor. If you're thinking about killing yourself, consult your doctor. Not to be taken with chicken. Do not feed to dogs. Make sure that you consult your vet. And then, in the background, you've got the previously said happy people being really happy still, even though they've basically got a voiceover saying, you will die if you take this tablet after 7 o'clock on a Tuesday. So this parody ad is basically a guy, and he gets there and he's like, are you tired of, being tired? Then why not harden the fuck up and eat normal shit? And he's just basically it's just so blasé, you're not expecting it. And it's just talking about a cookbook where you're just basically eating whatever the fuck you want. And then so you've got a little old lady who's just the sweetest little old thing, and she's just kind of blah, 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 blah. And I wanted to eat what the fuck I wanted. And it's just, anyway, I'm not explaining it very well, but trust me, it's funny.
There's one on Cyanide and Happiness, which is exactly the same thing. It's can't get out of the bed in the morning, can't go to work in the morning. Well, just do it. And they go through, and there's another one when, and the other one is don't stop doing that. So it's, don't do it. That's what it's called. And it's the girl answers the door. Is should I have sex with the mailman while my husband's at work? No, don't do it. Thanks, don't do it.
I think I've seen that one too before, yeah.
People just need to grow a freaking sense of common sense. It's not in the world anymore. Common sense does not exist. Mm-hmm. It's rarer than seeing a leopard with a facelift. That's what it's
rarer than seeing Richmond make the finals. And on that note, Josh, here's what I want to talk to you about.
Oh, we're up this week, mate. We are up this week, mate.
Because
what's happening.
You know what makes this even special is because I'm going to be at the game with former co-host Samuel McCrossan and my father. So, I've been to Carlton Richmond games in the past, but I haven't been to one in quite some time. It's always good that it's the first game. And look, I remember the last time I used to go to Carlton Richmond games, this was when, Richmond kind of did okay for a few years and they've kind of gone shit again. But this was when they were shit. So, and Carlton were fairly good. Well, at least when we were good for a couple of years. So you would go to the games and, Richmond fans would be just, so optimistic. They're like, oh, it's game 1. Here we go. Another season. Here we go. I'm from Tigerland. And then I remember, one of the games, you guys were winning every single minute of the match. And like, I had people, they were celebrating like you were winning the fucking premiership. It's like round one, guys. And then we, of course, overran you guys and won. And they looked so depressed. They were like, oh my God, we're in for another season. Oh, this is terrible. But this week it's the opposite, because Carlton are pretty much expected to win the wooden spoon this year. You guys are probably expected to finish ninth. So I'm going to be intrigued to go to a Carlton-Richmond game where I'm going to be like the Richmond supporter thinking, oh, maybe we won't finish last this year. So I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be an interesting game. I'll tell you what, I might have to watch this one on the TV because it's because my wife also goes for Richmond, which is...
I thought you went for Carlton.
No, that's what I meant to say. She goes to Carlton.
I was about to say.
She also goes
I was going to say, you really did brainwash your wife.
No, I didn't. No, at the same time is obviously the New South Wales Blues for the State of Origin Rugby League. Mm-hmm. But even then, she'll sit there and go Maroon. She's pissed me off.
And she goes for Cronulla too, does she not?
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Yeah, so she's a smart woman, despite the fact that she did marry you.
Yes, I heard that, and I chose to ignore that.
There are lots of things that people should ignore that I say, but it's I mean, look, you and I were the ones that started the bet, the whole like, oh, the other person has to sing the song. Is this still going to be a thing? Are we still going to do this on a podcast? Do you think we can manage to hook this up over the weekend, no matter what we're doing, that at least one of us will have to sing the song? More than likely, I will have to sing the song, but, you know, if I have to sing one song, Josh, I will proudly sing the Richmond song, because I will admit it is the best song in the AFL.
Oh, it is. It's better than We Are the Mighty Blues or whatever your bloody fairy tale song is.
I haven't heard it in a long time either, Josh. I don't know what it sounds like.
I'm not even going to talk about rugby league at the moment. I think the Newcastle Knights just broke their 19-game losing streak last weekend.
Oh, who'd they beat?
I can't remember.
Big fan you are. You're a huge fan of football.
No, I'm not a fan when my team sucks more than a hooter.
That's when you're meant to be a fan. You're meant to stick with them, you know, through thick and thin.
Yeah, I have, and now it's gone to anorexic. So there's a time and place.
They beat, I can tell you that...
Time and place,
actually, mate. Unless you're talking about a week before, the round just gone, I'm looking, you actually lost to the Rabbitohs. But if we go back a previous week, you beat the Gold Coast Titans. So congratulations for beating Jared Hayne.
Right. Yeah, I've met him. He's a nice person when he's not got his jersey on.
Did he change his mind halfway through the conversation and decide to go speak to somebody else? Because that's what he does a lot. He changes his mind a fair bit. He's a woman, basically.
No, yes, he is. But it wasn't that. I was a missionary, and we were over at his house for dinner.
Oh.
It was really cool.
Again, did he change his mind halfway through?
Yeah, no.
Here's a chicken. Actually, just kidding. Decide I want beef.
Yeah, no. I can't really actually remember what he made for dinner. I can't remember.
Must have been a bloody good meal. Remember that time we went to Jared Hayne's house for dinner? Don't have a fucking clue what we ate, but I went there.
It was like that. And Fetch and Cooper Werner, he used to play for the Rebels in the rugby union,
mm-hmm.
and we were. I went around for his house for dinner, and yeah, it was all right. And I think we had chips. I think we had fish and chips for dinner.
I think we had chips.
But what I remember is that I walked in the door and went, man, he's a big effing Maori, isn't he?
I love how this conversation has gone from me basically being sexist to saying that women change their minds, and now we're just like, he's a big effing Maori. Like we're stepping on some boundaries here in 2017, Josh. I'm just actually looking at the NRL ladder. I love how we've gone from footy now to rugby, and you're 12th. You are, because you've won the one game. The Panthers, who I believe are the premiership favourites, they're only a game ahead of you. Actually, no, a position, I should say. You've won the same amount of games as they have. And the premiership, Newcastle, you're $101 to win the premiership. The Panthers are still only $8. So, whereas my beloved Sharks, the reigning premiers, I can actually say that because we won the fucking premiership. We've only won the one game. We're in 7th, and our odds are at $15. So, okay.
Well, what's interesting about that is because my brother goes for the Panthers. So,
well, is he okay? I mean, how's he going?
We don't. He's deployed at the moment, and I don't know. And he probably doesn't even know that they're on the freaking ladder somewhere at the moment. So, but yeah, no, it's interesting. It's very interesting. I tell you what.
Yeah, I'm really going to be looking forward to the game this week. The Tigers Blues, and 80,000 at the G. It's experiences, of course, like that. You can always, it's going to be weird because, like, I obviously went to the grand final last year, saw the Doggies beat Swans, and so I can say officially that I went to the last game of 2016 and also the first game of 2017, both at the same venue. So there's a weird thing that I can say. I don't even know why that's a thing for me to mention, but hey, cool, why not?
Well, that's wrong. Here's another weird thing to say. Tasmania has an attractive member of the opposition in their state parliament. How's that sound?
I thought you were just about to say, here's another weird thing to say, Tasmania. I don't know, Josh. Brian Green was pretty attractive.
I don't know. This other bird seems pretty all right.
This other bird. That's a long-term friend of the Brink, Rebecca White, you are talking about there, Josh. You really have been in New South Wales that amount of time.
I'm away from the legislation of Tasmania, so yes. No, Rebecca White. I think I did hear when the shock announcement came through that he'd resigned from as leader of the opposition. I think it was due to family issues. I actually can't remember what the issues were.
No, he just quit because they weren't going to win the election, and he was basically, you need to quit because we're going to lose.
Which doesn't sound right, because Tasmania, traditionally is a Labor state.
True, but the thing is, it's like they did have polls out recently, and Willie's quite popular. And look, as somebody myself who's generally swayed a certain way with voting, even I would have had a hard time voting for Brian Green. So, I think they've done the right thing. This has definitely given them a real fighting chance. And particularly, she's the youngest ever leader of a party in the history of Tasmania. She's 33. She's only 3 years older than you and I. So, which it's amazing. And I think for somebody her age, that she might have that held against her. She's actually a very intelligent lady, and I think somebody who do quite well for this state should she be elected.
Well, that's the thing. I have no problem with the age of someone coming into politics. I think younger is usually, if you look at it, it can be better. It means they don't have previous hang-ups. They don't have ideas that they can't. That some of them are not as stubborn as the older generation, and they're also more. And from what I've seen, like in local governments, you can see all the old codgers who are in. They don't do diddly squat, but then you've got these young guys come in. They've got a fire in them. It's like someone's put kerosene down their underpants and sparked something with their phone, and they're off and moving. Well, and that's something that's really good to see.
Well, one thing I will say, and I completely agree with you, although having said that, age can be an issue if you're electing a 5-year-old to Parliament, because I'm not sure they're going to stand up and be like, Mr. Speaker, I pissed myself.
Yeah, well, with some of the people we have in Parliament now, it probably wouldn't be that different. Like, seriously, there are some absolute wankers in Parliament at the moment. Listening to Question Time is like watching Jerry Springer. It's ridiculous.
So we're a stone throw away from the public gallery yelling out, Malcolm, 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 Malcolm.
That's exactly right. And they should have flipping Jeremy Kyle come out with, all right, we've done a lie detector test on the leader of the opposition. Have you been a tosspot your entire life? You said no. Why did you say no? You were telling her no. That just says you're a liar, bud. So I think that's what it sounds like it needs.
And for elections, Josh, we get picture this: Bill Shorten, Malcolm Turnbull sitting on chairs, Maury Povich. We've got the test results here. Bill, you are not the Prime Minister! And then Malcolm turns up and he starts doing a little dance on the chair. And then Bill's like, oh, fuck you, fuck you.
He just seems like, I told you, I am the Prime Minister, I am the Prime Minister.
That makes politics entertaining.
I reckon that would be so much fun.
Yeah.
Have you seen the video? It's on Facebook. It was like, what was it? This is the 45th Parliament of Australia. I can't remember the exact name.
In the
It was
last 4 years, it is, yes.
The new Parliament, yes. And it was like the 45th Parliament edited over Kindergarten Cop. It was fantastic. It was so funny.
I haven't seen it.
Like, he's holding up. He's like, I'll tag you in it.
Do it. You do that, Josh.
Brink
You do that.
Facebook page, because it is funny as. It is funny as. It made me laugh.
Well, speaking of laugh, if you ever need a good laugh, just go to YouTube, type in Arnold Schwarzenegger quotes. There's like a 10-minute long video of just his greatest one-liners, and they're the best. And actually, Arnold was in Australia this weekend. Sadly, I don't think he can join us this week on the Brink. I think he's too busy at his strongman exhibition. But he actually was legitimately in Australia, so...
I know.
Arnold, if you're listening...
That was pretty good.
Sad that you can't be here, which is usually... It's weird. He's usually only ever on the show when you're on the show, Josh, but it's sad that he can't join us this week.
I know. I think it's because he can't break the law of physics today.
True, yeah.
But with the Arnold Schwarzenegger quotes, there's another good video on there. They've dubbed Arnold Schwarzenegger over Darth Vader.
Yes, I've seen that.
And that was like, he's like, they're on the Death Star, and it's like, the Death Star will be operational this month. There is no bathroom. And it's...
They did one for one of the Formula One drivers, Kimi Raikkonen, and they dubbed it over like it was his radio. And so, like, there's this scene, I think, with this bit where, like, he puts his hand up in frustration or something like that. So this person, it's like Arnold Schwarzenegger, like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And it's just, Arnold Schwarzenegger makes everything
like, driving
better.
around, like, could you imagine, like, he's like coming around a turn and someone cuts him off. Put that cookie down! No!
Yeah, see, this is why, like, we don't do impersonations. I mean, you sound nothing like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No, nothing.
You just can't do it.
You know who does sound like Arnold? I thought this was crap. I was going through some old Facebook videos. There's an app that I've got on my phone that goes through your Facebook and all the videos that you've shared and that. And there was one done back when I was still in Tassie, when we were doing the Brink at Edge Radio. It was a Forget the Lyrics, and Sam was doing it.
Ah, yes, I saw you share that.
The Cookie Monster.
Yep.
Singing about Star Wars, and it was like, he did not sound like Cookie Monster. He sounded like Arnold Schwarzenegger going, "Oh, Cookie!"
That was that was to Don't Tell Me. That was to Smells Like Teen Spirit, wasn't he? He's like, "Oh, he's going to the movies to see Star Wars in 3D." That was it. There we go. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yep. We might you know what? Actually, Josh, can I just interrupt? I'm going to interrupt you. We're later in this episode. We're going to play a classic, Forget the Lyrics. But right now, let's hear that. I want to hear that. Let's hear that.
I am the Cookie Monster. I want to go and watch Star Wars in 3D with my friend Sam, and we see Darth Vader. Oh, I know it's good in 3D. Oh yes, Cookie Monster. Oh yes, Cookie Monster. Oh yes, I like the little Darth Vader. Oh yes, I am Cookie Monster. Oh yes, Star Wars in 3D. It makes me feel good. It's Star Wars. Oh yes, Star Wars in 3D is brilliant, because things come out of the screen like the lightsaber and like a big thing. Oh yes, my Cookie Monster.
That's hilarious. That's good. I like that. That was that was terrible.
I did too.
Laughter there by me.
I don't know what we listened to, but I liked it.
Josh, that's the general reaction of people who listen to The Brink. They're like, I don't know what I just listened to, but I liked it. It was cool.
Yeah, it's just like sex with a fat person. It was like, yeah, I don't know what that was.
Women have said that to me the first time I've ever had sex. There you go, Josh. That is like having sex with a fat person. That's again what women say to me. It's on my business card. That's how I pick up girls.
I enjoyed it.
I hand out my card. It's like, don't judge me because I'm fat. You'll enjoy it.
Do you want to experience something fun? You won't know what it is until you have it.
Yes.
Oh, man.
I think on that note, Josh...
No. Like, you can do it. Like, one of those late night SBS Onyx lines, like, have you wanted to try it with a large hand? Call Ben for something that you won't know exactly what happened, but it will be fun.
Like the good old days when you'd be watching, like...
It's like marmalade. You don't know what it is, but it's alright.
The good old days when you'd be watching late night TV and the phone sex ads were on with the really weird looking women that, like, I don't want to ring and have phone sex with you because if that's what you really look like, that's not going to give me an erection. But speaking of marmalade, actually, this is a weird segue to end it. I heard a joke yesterday, Josh, and I thought it was funny. And this is not a dad joke. I'm old. I'm telling shit jokes now. But I'm going to end our segment today by telling you and the listeners a joke. Are you ready for it?
Only if I can share a very, very horrid joke after this.
Well, do you want to tell yours first? Because I feel like yours has got a bit more build-up now.
Mine is really bad, though.
Well, good, because that will make mine sound better.
Look, like, when I say bad, it's like, it's slightly offensive.
Is it a Mormon joke, or, like, what is it?
No, it's a joke about Africa.
Oh, okay, well, look, that can never go bad. Let's go for it. Let's hear it.
Well, the worst thing you do is edit.
Oh, true. You know, people might not ever hear this, but hey, if you're hearing this bit right now, you know it's not that bad, or maybe it is really that bad, but we don't give a fuck because no one's listening anyway. So please go ahead.
All right, scientists have just discovered that
technical issues. Please stand by. 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 Technical issues. Please stand by.
Yeah.
Technical issues. Please stand by. Technical issues. Please stand by.
Yeah, I don't think that's made the episode. Again, maybe it has. I don't even know. Wow. Wow. Okay, mine's actually quite tame right now.
See, this thing is like it's yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me just
I'll
reiterate
be
before I
quiet
tell
for a
this
moment.
joke. Josh is the religious one. Josh is a devout religious man. Okay? He went on a mission for 2 years where he lived by Jesus and the religion shit that he believes in. No offense, it's not shit. You believe in it. It's truth for you. But, like, you told that joke, not me. My joke that I'll end this on.
It's like people who know me, and you should know, is you know that my jokes are never what a normal Mormon would say.
True. Let's be honest. That joke that just told was probably a normal, nice joke that Josh has actually said. That's a children's joke compared to what he generally says. So
That's it, and they're usually fatsist, racist, sexist, or all of the above.
speaking of all of the above, this isn't any of them. Josh, what is the difference between marmalade and jam?
What?
You can't marmalade something up your asshole. There we go. That's ending it. Josh, thank you. You'll be on next week, probably, so I can sing the Richmond song. But thank you. Go Blues. And during the week, one of our sister programs, 007, of course, it's a James Bond podcast, Australia's original James Bond podcast, available now via 007.wordpress.com or, of course, on iTunes or your local podcast provider. We had our 50th episode. Yay, celebration. Woohoo. One of the big names we got on it, though, actually the big name we got on it, besides our co-host Noah, who returned for the first time in a long time, was Hollywood legend Robert Darby. Now, Robert Darby Darby played Franz Sanchez in the 1989 James Bond film License to Kill, the main antagonist against James Bond in that movie, one of the greatest James Bond villains of all time, but has also been in a heap of other movies, more than 100 TV shows and movies. He was in Die Hard, The Expendables, he's provided voices for games like Grand Theft Auto, he's been in everything, and he's also now currently singing Frank Sinatra songs because he is actually really good friends with Frank Sinatra as well. So we got him on the show, and we also simulcast this interview on our other sister show, the Oz Network, also available via iTunes and theoznetwork.net. Got to do some selfless cross-promoting there at the same time. But we thought we would bring you just a little snippet of the Robert Darby interview, just because it was a very big name. And in this little snippet you will hear, Robert is talking about basically preparation for the role. If you haven't seen License to Kill, no spoilers, Franz Sanchez is a big-time drug lord, and sort of modelled, late 80s, Miami Vice, people like Pablo Escobar, those sort of things you're thinking of. And in this little snippet, speaking of Pablo Escobar, there's a bit of a segue here, because he talks about the time he actually got to meet Pablo Escobar. Listen to this. This is a snippet from our Robert Darby interview from 007. I also read that in preparation for the role, obviously given the drug cartel connections that Sanchez has in the film and the type of character, that you yourself, to research and get ready for this role, had to get involved with some quite interesting characters in preparation for this film. I mean, what was that like? How do you go about finding some Colombian drug lords? I guess you don't just get the phone book and try and dial a few. I guess it's a bit more difficult than that.
Actually, you'll find all types in Beverly Hills, and especially in Hollywood.
It was the 80s too, wasn't it?
Anything you mentioned. Yeah, end of the 80s. So anyway, yeah, you just question. I heard somebody was a Colombian guy, and I says, really? He was from Medellin, and I think through a model. I think through one of these girls that became a pleasure wife of Adnan Khashoggi or something. And I heard that she had an ex-boyfriend who was dealing, and he was from Colombia and Medellin. And I says, oh, can I talk to this guy? And he knew then the architect, a guy that did Escobar's house.
Wow.
And
wow.
And then I talked to him. And then subsequently, in the 90s, in the early, right around then, I met Pablo Escobar in Brazil.
Wow. How does that go? How do you go into that, meeting someone like that, and I guess try and stay calm?
Well, first off, I didn't know I was meeting him.
Wow, okay.
I was in Brazil doing a film with a Finnish director. I was in Manaus, which is northern in Roraima, part of Brazil. I was doing a film with Mika Kaurismäki, great Finnish director, him and his brother Aki. Aki gets a lot of awards, and Mika's he's kind of like commercial and art, a little different. But anyway, he did this film called Amazon. And it was about the garimpos, the gold diggers in the Amazon rainforest. And I wound up playing this character, and we were there for like 9 weeks. And I was in Roraima, in Manaus, where the rubber barons used to be. They had this beautiful, the Hotel Tropical, this amazing place built right in the middle of the jungle. Kind of like a Fitzcarraldo thing, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But anyway, there I am. And I'm in this big dining room after being in the deep jungle in Tepecan and Boa Vista for like a few weeks, where there was just old monkeys and Finnish crew with high on vodka. It was funny. But so I finally get to civilization, and I'm there in this wonderful banquet hall, and a couple of guys approached me, and the film had just been released in Brazil a couple of weeks earlier.
Wow.
And it was like very big over there, and they said to me, "Oh, Robert Darby, we would love to invite you, our friend. He knows you're in town, because there was publicity on it. Would love to invite you to the villa and have something to drink and maybe meet and talk." I said, "Ooh." And he said, "Oh, no, it does no matter, but we take you." And I said, "Huh?" And he says, "I said, he's very interesting, man, and he will love to have this, and you'll be rewarded for your, whatever it is. not rewarded, but something that led to, I think I was going to get a Rolex watch. You know what I mean? If I showed up.
Right.
That kind of vibe.
Right.
All right. And being, here I was in the rainforest, and they said, oh, this is interesting, All right, I'm up for an experience. So they took me and they drove me for about 45 minutes into the jungle, and then an area, little dirt road kind of thing in the middle of the jungle. And then all of a sudden this area opens up. Like there's like a gate that has trees on it that is hidden. And then another long road that's paved into the jungle. And then this villa in the middle of this area and guards. And then all of a sudden it becomes apparent, that I'm going to meet somebody interesting. And then I meet this guy, Pablo Escobar.
Wow.
And he told me some interesting stories. He liked the film. He liked the idea of the loyalty is more important to me than money. He mentioned that. He said, and then he mentioned, he says, and I knew this. He goes, in my house in Medellin, we have I have one of the houses. I had in the middle of the house, there's a track. It goes out and in. And I play with my friends. We play Lulu, which is, I guess, a card game there, and we drink aguardiente. It goes, and every few minutes you hear, and we stop, and we watch the gate of the Paso Fino horse. Now, there's a special horse that the Paso Fino horses, $500,000 a piece based on the gait. Their left goes together. Their right, so there's no jiggly. Very easy to ride in the mountains and indigenous to that area. So he told me that would be interesting to have the Paso Fino horse to show the appreciation of these beautiful animals. And then he said, I tell you my mentality. When I was young, and I'm a businessman, when I was young, I wanted to buy a discotheque, and they didn't let me buy the discotheque. They didn't sell it to me because they said I was unsavory. So they wouldn't sell me the discotheque. And I offered them double the money, they wouldn't sell it. So what I did was I built, a couple of years later, the exact replica across the street to a T. And I charged no one any fee to come in, to drink, nothing, and put them out of business.
Wow.
Because they didn't sell it to me. This is my mentality.
Wow.
Anyway, so that was a very interesting peek into a little bit of his psyche.
And I can definitely imagine then, Robert, that you're glad he liked the film. I couldn't imagine if he's brought you to his place like that, only for him to be like, I have some problems with the way you played that character. I didn't like it. Fascinating. Just fascinating to hear that story. And, obviously Robert's very much alive. So there you go. That was a bit of an interesting tale. If you want to hear the full interview of that, 007.wordpress.com. That's our 50th episode spectacular. Or, of course, the ozNetwork.net if you want to hear that one as well, without all the James Bond stuff on either side of it. And now it is time for...
This is like a flashback. This is like a dream.
Another flashback. We're going back to the year 2010 with a bit of Tasmanian political news during the week, of course, with Brian Greene stepping down as opposition leader, and we have a new opposition leader in Tasmania, Rebecca White, a former guest of the Brink as well. You really think we would probably play an interview with her, but no, we're doing something a little bit different. In 2010, it was an election year in Tasmania, and then we managed to get a little bit of an insight into how the then Premier, David Bartlett, happened to go and speak to the Governor, and then basically help get the election called. We had some secret microphones in this. So let's hear this snippet, 2010.
But I do hear word, Anthony, that Premier David Bartlett has he's gotten in the government car. I don't know what official car they use. Let's just call it MC Hammer. And I don't know. And he's driven up to Government House, and I believe we might have a bit of a live cross there. Anthony, is it working, do you think?
Hang on, the transmission's coming through now.
It might be a bit of a delay coming from Vancouver to Hobart.
I think he's knocking on the door.
Okay, we're going to cross live now to Government House. This is Bartlett and Pete Underwood. What's going on here?
Petey, wake up.
Who is it?
It's the Premier, you know.
Oh, Barty! How are you there? What are you doing at this early stage of the morning?
Look, I need to ask a favour. Something that I think listening is very important at this time. I need an election. I was just wondering if you could give one to me. It's very important to me and the people of Tasmania.
Oh, look, it's... What time is it in the morning? It's 5 to 9 at the moment, Barty.
Time you wake up.
So, look, have you been doing enough listening out there in the electorate before you come up to see me?
Look, as Premier of this fine state, listening is something that we tend to do best, and we are implementing strategies to enhance our listening abilities.
And just before I'm still in my pyjamas, but before I get out, I'm just making sure that old Lala's up here and Gaza as well, to make sure that we've got enough people up for the photo opportunity for this, if I call this election with you.
Just give it to us.
Who do you think I am? You know who I am?
Sorry, is that your wife, is it?
Is that Gaza Graham out there?
Do you know who I am?
Sit.
I'm going back to the car. Come on, Graham.
No, don't be like that, Graham. Just come on, be good.
Right, well, just give me a few minutes. I just need to have some breakfast, a bit of tea, and if you just sit yourself out there, I'll be out in a few moments there, Barty.
I'm not actually sure, listening back on that now, if that was legit. I'm going to be honest here, Brinkers, and say I think that might have been a bit of a porcupine. I think that might have been faked. Sorry to ruin the illusion, but sadly, you've got to tell the truth every now and then, and that's what I just did here on the Brink. From a flashback to my favourite part of the podcast every week.
It's that time of the week to play everybody's favourite game show. It's Forget the Lyrics! Here on the Brink on Edge Radio. Over to the studio.
Forget the lyrics. You know it. You love it. And if you don't know it, if this just happens to be the very first podcast episode you've ever listened to at the Brink, then why the fuck are you choosing number 16? But hey, cool, whatever. Like, here you are. Welcome aboard. We're going back to the year 2014, and we're going to hear myself and Dakoda sing. It seems to be a recurring theme. We're liking myself and Dakoda singing. Dakoda. Did I call him Nakoda? That's a strange name. Best of You by the Foo Fighters. I believe this was right about the time the Foo Fighters were in Tassie. So, here you go. And I believe the topic is returning to school from memory. So, let's go back to 2014 and hear a bit of myself and Dakoda sing. Nice guitar playing in the background there, Dakoda. Oh, I'm going back to school. I don't want to. The holidays are over now. I can't sleep in. It really sucks that I've got to learn about algebra and maths, and English. I don't want to learn about history and soc and science and all that stuff. Is it going to be alright that I learnt about that thing? I was playing PlayStation yesterday and my phone would ring. Now it's on silent and my teacher told me off for Snapchatting a picture of her top. I really don't want to go back to school because it's quite boring. Because I want to learn about playing stuff on the PlayStation. Because it really sucks to go to school and not come on the Brink. Dakoda can't learn about the stuff on this show in the morning. Because it really sucks to be on the show and not go to school. No, it doesn't. It sucks to go to school because I want to go to school and learn. Dakoda, you can sing right now.
There's no bits where I can sing. Okay, 6-bar break, yeah. Woo! Yeah. School. Oh, okay. Do I have to say this? Okay. Hold on. School. It's just yeah, but it's old. Okay. I woke up this morning. Oh, jeez. I thought I could sleep in. Oh, what the hell? Okay. Oh, jeez. Okay. I woke up this morning today. Thought I could sleep in. Then my mum walked into my room. Said I had to. Oh, wow.
You're in the wrong bit of the song.
What is this?
Come on, don't
The white bits are going over the orange bits too fast.
It's on the lyrics, you know? Are you throwing in the towel?
Yes,
Are you
yeah.
throwing in the towel?
Yeah. See, if I had started.
Never gets old. Never gets old. I know you're thinking that shit, but believe me when I say you love it, I know you love it. And no doubt there'll be more next week, so suck it up and wait until then. Pretty much time for us to bugger off, peace out, and be on our way. But before we do, a little bit of extra here for you. You love hearing me sing, apparently. You already heard it in Forget the Lyrics. Now, of course, High Noon, Friday afternoons, 12 to 2 p.m, only on Edge Radio. We did a bit of a singing segment last week, but it wasn't actually a sort of a random one. We decided to pre-plan it. And if you listened to last week's episode of The Brink, you would have seen the death of my youth. This is now 30-year-old Ben speaking to you, as my birthday was on the weekend. Thank you for your wishes. You're welcome. Now, I decided to sing a song in order to, I guess, commiserate the fact that I was dying. My youth was dead. So this was a bit of a song put together to the tune of the Chainsmokers hit Closer, called Older. We had Marcus Bendel in the studio, Ice Hockey Tasmania secretary and good friend of the show's, and let's just say his reaction pretty much probably will sum up your reaction, because again, if you don't like singing, if you don't like bad people singing, then maybe skip forward the podcast about 3 minutes so you can just not hear this. But here it is, Closer, the version done by High Noon, though, instead, called Older. Hey, I was doing just fine before I met you. My teens were so fun, but they ended, but I'm okay. Hey, is this where the grey hair starts to appear? But I hope that part really isn't true. I know it breaks my heart, no longer in my 20s and allowed to fart. 10 years old done, now I'm saying bye to the days of young, and it really sucks. Yes, it really kind of actually does suck. So baby, pull me closer to the nursing home in Dover that I know I'll be at soon. Drinking soup from a spoon, mashing prunes and watching Matlock, sleeping with some sexy old socks from that Kmart note holder. Tomorrow I'll be that much older. Tomorrow I'll be that much older. Tomorrow I'll be that much older. I don't look as good as the day I was young. I forget just what that was like. It's insane. Stay and play that wicked PS3 game that used to be so cool back in the day. I know it breaks my heart, days getting closer to a walking frame cart, and 10 years gone quick, now I'm too old to say words like and yeah, I'm screwed. Yeah, I'm screwed.
So baby, pull me closer to the nursing home in Dover that I know I'll be at soon. Drinking soup from a spoon, mashing prunes and watching Matlock, sleeping with sexy old socks from that Kmart note holder. Tomorrow I'll be that much older. Tomorrow I'll be that much older. Tomorrow I'll be that much older. So baby, pull me closer to the nursing home in Dover that I know I'll be at soon. Drinking soup from a spoon, mashing prunes and watching Matlock, sleeping with sexy old socks from that Kmart note holder. Tomorrow I'll be that much older. 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 I am really getting older. I am really getting older. Okay, well, guess getting older. Yeah, screw that. Ain't nobody got time for that. I'm out of here. I apologise that you cannot get those minutes of your life back and clean your ears out. So there you go. And again, thank you for the birthday wishes. I appreciate them. Now, well, just a couple of things. That was also a reference on that show, I should say, on High Noon, if I can speak properly here, man. That last week I also hosted my 2000th episode of podcast or radio. It hit the big 2,000 mark. Got a letter from the Queen and everything. She called me up. She was like, "Oh, Ben, I'm so happy for you." And I was like, "Cool. Cheers, Lizzie. See you on Sunday for dinner." But going to put together a bit of a 2000 themed episode. We did a sort of a clip just to music that we played on High Noon. It's also available on the High Noon podcast feed on iTunes. But during the week, we will be releasing a special episode where I'm going to basically go through a lot of my favourite interviews and episodes throughout my career and just kind of bring those to you as well. A bit of a trip down memory lane. So it won't just be Brink stuff. We will put it up on the Brink feed, but you will also hear all the other shows that I've done over the years. And given that the Brink was the mother of them all and it was kind of formed throughout all those, so you'll hear that throughout the week. And also, if you are a Formula 1 fan and have followed our very first ever spin-off show way back in 2009, the qualifying lap, formerly the F1 show, Sam and myself, former co-host on the show, Sam, has appeared on a reboot. Again, we're heading to Melbourne, as we do every year, to cover the Grand Prix. So we'll be putting podcasts up, hopefully daily with that, so stay tuned. And there will be another Brink Unleashed, kind of like a bit of a spin-off side quest. It's not going to be the Brink Unleashed 7, it's going to be the Brink Unleashed 6.5, a bit of a bridging gap that's going to close off a story from an older Brink one. Bit of fun. It's only going to be a short one. You don't have to sit through 3 hours of it all like you did for the last one. So again, stay tuned for that, and we'll have no doubt more details coming to you via our Facebook page, which is a perfect time to mention it. It is facebook.com/The Brink Radio Show. Like us on there. Stay up to date. Send us a message. Tell us to shut up. Tell us to stop singing. We're going to do it anyway. Subscribe on iTunes. Easiest way to get these. And please do rate us. Leave us feedback. We always like to hear what you think of the show, even if you fucking hate it. But you're like me and you just can't give up on things. Once there's something going on, you've got to keep listening to it. You can't give up. So again, if you hate it, if you think it's the shittest thing you've ever heard, then comment. Say, "Hi, 1 star, shittest thing I've ever heard." And I will appreciate your honesty. So you're welcome, and thank you in advance. If you don't have iTunes, it is available on other podcast streams. You can find our RSS feed. I don't know why I'm saying HTML feed. Wrong thing, Ben. And you, of course, can find that on our Facebook page as well, and subscribe by your relevant provider that gets you podcasts. That simple. Thank you for your company today to all our guests on the show, and we will be back next week once again for another Brink. We will be bringing you bits and pieces from Melbourne and having a good old time. So in the meantime, we hope you have a fantastic week wherever you are listening to us, especially if you're a Mountain View. Hello, g'day, you're awesome, great messages. We want to hear from you. Until then, keep sucking those oranges, and good night.